it's always gone to.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabella, I'm an orphan digital creator, and welcome to my little space here on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about my January writing routine. Starting off in 2025, I literally decided that I can't have a concrete writing routine, which is what I did in 2024. Since I had no idea how uni was going to go because it was my first year, now I'm in my second year, I do have a bit more experience and I know what to kind of expect from university. I feel like making these monthly writing routines and obviously changing it as I go is definitely going to be a lot more beneficial. In the month of January, I'm aiming to write for at least 7 hours and 30 minutes. So at first this seemed really unfeasible, but if I'm aiming to write for 20 minutes every single weekday, that's gonna be fine. I will hit the goal. If I write also on the weekends, then I will finish this goal in 21 days. But that's not the point here. We're focusing mostly on the days when I'm going to be at university and I will not be able to write. So I feel like 20 minutes a day is pretty manageable. That seems to be my average. At this point, I usually get only 20 minutes of writing time in because of how busy I am with work, university, and everything else in life. So I feel like this is the only time I can really dedicate at least consistently, and it's not overwhelming for me either. So I'm like, okay, 20 minutes seems fine. So I'm trying to write at least 20 minutes a day every weekday. On top of that, I have tried to implement reading more frequently into my life. So currently, I'm going to try and hide the barcode because it's from the library. I'm reading The Striker by Anna Huang. It's mostly like any book I'm reading at the time. So this is currently the book I've been reading. So that is my reading. I do want to try and read either before or after I write each day. So far I've been doing before, but it's been going pretty well so far. And I'm really happy with this routine. I really like the 20 minutes a day only on weekdays. Like giving myself the weekends obviously is pretty crucial to making this routine work because I could use the weekends to catch up on studies if I need to. I am technically still on break, so I don't really know how that's going to go, but I do feel like I'm going to be writing on the weekends, but I don't want to have that extra pressure for myself, so I'm only making it compulsory to write on weekdays. And at least for 20 minutes. So if I choose to write on the weekends, that's just like extra writing time for me. But yeah, that's kind of the time goal. I love listening to music when I write. I can't really listen to like videos, so when I try to watch and participate in live streams, I really struggle because it kind of messes my brain up. So I try to attend live streams. I have attended some by Brielle Wrights and Andy E. Sears, but my brain just doesn't really correspond well to live streams. So I've recently just been listening to music, and whether that's a book specific playlist which I have created or just music that I'm really vibing with at the time, which I have been kind of doing mostly, that has been working a lot more for me, and it's also increasing my productivity and creative energy, so it doesn't feel as draining for me. Whereas when I try to work with live streams and then just have music in the background, I find it's not really as effective and I kind of get drained a lot easier, which I'm not really sure why, but that's kind of what I've noticed so far, particularly in 2024 when I did start to participate more live stream. Basically, January's writing routine is writing for 20 minutes at least every weekday, listening to music, and reading. So those are the 3 things I'm aiming to do every single weekday for January. In terms of the reading one on weekends, I don't really know how that's going to go. I don't want it to be something I force myself to do. I want reading to always be for enjoyment. So I mean, I do read pretty frequently, especially on the weekends, because that's like the most free time I have. When uni starts, I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But for now, that is how my January writing routine is going to be. I do start uni towards the end of the month. So I'm excited to see how this routine will work then, because I will still be writing obviously the 20 minutes a day on the weekdays. But I'm only going to uni 2 times a week. And it's only for 3 weeks, so it should be fine in theory. And then February's routine will obviously be changing and adapting for February's routine. But until then, that's going to be my January writing routine, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So far, what I do have to say about this routine is that it's a lot more, I guess, manageable, and I don't feel as stressed having to try and squeeze in writing as much as I used to, because I was aiming for like crazy almost 6-hour days. Like, I can't do that. I'm literally at uni for majority of the day, and I won't be able to obviously write for 6 hours a day unless I decide to compromise on my sleep. And I don't want to compromise my health for something that I want to do for fun, for something that I'm passionate about. I don't want it to be a chore. I don't want it to be a task. I always want it to be fun for me. So this routine has so far been more manageable. I am still predominantly a night out and nighttime writer. So in terms of timing wise, I do want to try and start writing a bit more in the daytime and trying to get myself used to it. So it hasn't been going that well because I've literally been writing at night only, but who knows, maybe throughout the month we're going to slowly transition towards a daytime kind of writer. I will say I am really loving this routine. It's doing pretty well for me, and I am glad that we are getting in more reading because, like, I feel like in 2024 I really put off my reading just to write a lot, and then I did this weird like segment thing where I will have periods where I just wrote a bunch and edited a bunch, and then I had another period where I would just film videos a bunch and just do all of that kind of videography stuff, and then I will have another period where I just read a lot, and I felt like that wasn't really sustainable or healthy, especially if I want to do it more of a consistent daily kind of routine situation. Obviously I am aiming to publish 10 books this year, so obviously doing that kind of like segmented routine isn't really going to work out, and I do not want to be burnt out creatively either. So I'm aiming to try and incorporate reading some way into my routine every now and then. At least for January, I know that I have a lot of books I want to read. It's also like that new year kind of feeling where you just want to get as much of your goal done as possible. I do set the 100 reading goal every year, so it's not really new to me anymore, but I'm excited. I want to try and hit that goal. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go, but yeah, there's just a lot of things I want to do this year, so I really need to have consistent writing routines that I can work with. And because a lot of my classes kind of start and end in the middle of the month randomly, I have to like really plan it out properly that I can do it while obviously on break, but also during uni, because it has to be sustainable for me. Originally I was planning on obviously writing during my commute to uni, but I have found that it works sometimes, but I can only commit to it once a week. And in 2024 I only went to uni twice a week, and if I could only do it one out of those 2 days, I don't think it's going to work out for 2025 when I'm going to be on campus a lot more. So the writing during commute thing, I feel like it's just going to be extra writing time now, but I'm not going to make it as part of my routine because I don't think it's going to work out in the long term, and I don't want to stress myself out either from that. I can't read on the train because I get really sick. I will try and probably listen to audiobooks, but I don't really wear earphones or AirPods. Who knows, maybe that is something we'll be doing and implementing into our routine in terms of reading. I do want to try and get back into audiobooks. I kind of just dropped off with that in 2024 when I had built such a good habit of it. In 2023 and 2022 kind of started gravitating back towards physical books and every now and then ebooks, but if there is a physical copy, I prefer to get that instead. So I'm kind of like going back to my roots where I was just reading a bunch of physical books. So it's been really fun, obviously, having that again. And in terms of writing by hand, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that as much. I think I'm just going to be typing a lot more this year. In terms of will I just be using my laptop like I've been doing this entire time? Probably not. I might start using my tablet and kind of trying to get used to that. But yeah, that's definitely the plan for January at least, because I'm trying to slowly gravitate away from using my laptop as much because I feel like I'm kind of stressing it out itself because I'm running all these programs. I'm running all these like editing things for videos obviously and YouTube. I have Instagram going on in the background and then all of that stuff. Then I have writing, YouTube videos itself playing, and then I also have music and Spotify and all of these things going on. I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to slowly gravitate towards something else, but I don't want to like completely stop using my laptop. It's still going to be my primary like writing device, I suppose you could say, but I do want to start using my tablet and iPad, not just for obviously entertainment reasons. I want it to also be like in my mind that I can use this to write, and it's not just like I'm going to only use my laptop to write, because I have kind of built this weird mentality for myself where the only time I should write is when I have my laptop, and that isn't really the best mentality. Like, I don't have an issue with that, but I don't want to make it that way that I only write when I have my laptop with me. I'm trying to move away from that kind of mindset, and hopefully it'll end up working because we're going to be focusing on writing on our tablet a lot more in January. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you're going to be trying out a little routine for January, or if you have a bunch of commitments like me and you're just trying to squeeze in as much writing time as possible. Also, let me know what your January writing goals are down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay healthy and stay happy. See ya!
fast, like a trip to the beach.